forgot my clicker for a second. Thank you for joining me. I don't know why I'm holding this like I'm about to break out into song. Yes, as Nina said, my name is Liv. Oh yeah, that way. There we go. And I am SEO lead here at Digitaloft. Before joining Digitaloft, I ran a very small SEO and digital PR agency providing services for startups. So I've worked on everything from like your biggest household name brands from a content level, all the way down to those sites that's brands who do not even have a website yet. My background's mainly in content and strategy, and I also have a rule for myself that I always put a picture of my cat on every slide deck I ever do. I'm going to keep forgetting that. Another thing about me is that I have worked on both sides. So obviously this is the SEO for digital PR stage, and I've done both of those things. So I started off as content and copywriter sort of side of things. I then moved over to digital PR, and like we said earlier, it is an absolute dopamine roller coaster. I left digital PR because it was such a stress. I got so much amazing coverage, but for probably the first 3 months of my digital PR, I got absolutely nothing. And it was such a stress, and I hated it, and I cried. And then I moved over to SEO because it's found it so much easier to control. It's still an absolute roller coaster. Thank you so much, Google. That I've absolutely worked on both sides. So why I'm telling you this is I completely get every single side of the argument. I know what SEOs want from the digital PRs, and I also know what digital PRs want from SEO teams. Now, I absolutely do not need to tell you that there are so many benefits to digital PR. Feel free to take a picture, send it to any clients who forget this. But so many of these are SEO-led. There are so many benefits to digital PR that are actually just really great SEO benefits, and that's not going to come as a surprise to anyone. And there's no secret, if you've been here all day and you don't realize the link between SEO and digital PR, I feel like you should have been listening. But great digital PR, any great digital PR strategy will tick a lot of the boxes of a great SEO strategy. So there's going to be that really careful, considered keyword targeting. If you know what keywords your SEO teams are after and really targeting, then you can go after that as well. Proving that expertise and trustworthiness and all of those wonderful EEAT signals, and providing genuinely engaging and helpful content that's going to boost your overall traffic levels. And this link is stronger than ever. Digital PRs, you are in such a strong position. We've heard it a couple of times in talks today that it's kind of a non-negotiable now. Recent changes in the SEO landscape means that digital PR and those off-page signals are more important than ever. So it's no surprise that I think, as a kind of non-negotiable, it is a hill that I will absolutely die on, that digital PR teams need a really solid understanding of SEO. They don't need to be experts. There are so many things that people don't need to know about SEO, but I think both digital PR teams need to have an understanding of SEO and vice versa. And the companies that have those really integrated SEO and digital PR strategies are going to be the ones that succeed. And like I said, this link is stronger than ever. EEAT is the thing that we are all, as SEOs, 100% doubling down on. And having digital PR as part of your EEAT strategy is really a non-negotiable. It's not just one of those nice-to-have elements anymore and be like, oh, we'll get some nice brand links. It's a non-negotiable. And while EEAT is not a ranking factor, those sites that are demonstrating really high EEAT are undoubtedly going to be the ones that win in 2024 and beyond. So, digital PRs, we need you. I feel like it's the little wartime we need you thingy. But absolutely take this, revel in this, feel very smug. Your SEO teams 100% need you. But also, please help us out. So, we're going to talk a little bit more about EEAT. And one extra fact about me is that I am a massive nerd. So I've been looking into Google's quality rater guidelines, which sort of talks about really the very specific EEAT signals that we have. And it really kind of exists on 3 levels. So we've got the content. So what is on your site? Is it of a high quality? Is it up to date? Or is it like a blog that's on some legislation from 2015 that's been updated 3 times since then? Who has written that content? We've talked about it a lot today, but can people see who has written your content, what their credentials are, and beyond? And then we've got those brand level signals as well. And that is those off-page signals, which are a lot less easy for just a sort of on-page SEO strategist to really define. So what are people saying about your brand on Trustpilot, on social media? Do other sites link to your content and your expertise? And of course, that is where digital PR comes in. I've done quite a lot of talks lately saying that I think EEAT is not just, while it's traditionally an SEO value, an SEO signal, it's not just an SEO problem. You need to get your social media teams involved. You need to get every kind of brand off-page team involved as well. Digital PR is going to provide you with all of those really important off-page EEAT signals to showcase that you're a brand that can be trusted in a sea full of unhelpful businesses, unhelpful websites as well. So it's really a non-negotiable for any successful EEAT strategy. I'm a big believer in sharing skills between teams. It's something that we've been doing a lot of at Digitaloft, because I think there's so much that SEOs can learn from digital PRs. Digital PRs are some of the most creative people that I've ever worked with. And if you were here for Jess's talk earlier, it's that idea of just thinking of the silliest thing that you can and rolling with it. They think in a really user-first way. As much as we try to with SEO, sometimes we do get bogged down with, oh, but that's what Google wants. So the ideation side of things is something that digital PRs obviously excel at. One of the biggest successes that I've seen within my SEO team is adopting some digital PR style ideations for creating blog content, for creating strategies, just getting every single person in a room for some really, really collaborative thinking. And like we've said before in different talks today, PR teams are often massive. There's so many people, so many perspectives, and I think that that's something that PR teams do so, so well. And then likewise, there's a lot that PR teams can learn from SEO. Reporting is something that a lot of SEOs excel at. Obviously, it's quite a generalization. There are some SEOs who stay away from reporting because they hate it. It's understandable. A lot of SEOs will look at that really top-line strategy, so talk to a client and work out what their wider commercial and marketing goals are, and build from a top-down level looking at that to build out a strategy. Analytics again, unfortunately. I think that I'm really sorry to say that digital PRs need to get comfortable with GA4. I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable with GA4, but we're learning. But being able to really understand the analytics side of things so you can go beyond just your basic link metrics. And also communication as well. It's something that all teams do very, very well, but often being able to communicate some of the more technical elements of SEO is something that SEO teams really, really excel at. Boop. There we go. So, together, we are going to put together a little 5-step plan for really integrating your SEO and digital PR strategies. And step 1 comes from the onboarding. I'm a really, really big believer that your onboarding call with a new client is probably going to be one of the most important calls that you ever have with them. It's a really good chance to set that precedent with clients and kind of absolve any myths that they might already have. They might think that SEO and digital PR are two completely different silos, which of course we know they are not. So you need to come away from these onboarding calls knowing what metrics matter to them. Who is within that wider team? Do you have to report up to a CEO level? In that case, what do they care about? You need to know how digital PR and SEO are going to fit into that wider marketing strategy. What else have they got going on? Have they got a massive UX push or conversion rate push this year? How is that going to fit in with the wider strategy? Get access to anything and everything you can. Even if it's a digital PR only strategy, still ask for their GA4 Search Console. Get access to all the data that you can. You might not need it, but it's pretty helpful. And from that onboarding call, a client should know the SEO value of digital PR. This is your chance to really set that precedent of what digital PR and SEO mean to each other and how digital PR is going to feed into wider SEO and marketing goals. They should know how you're going to measure success and how your teams work and how you're going to report on that success collaboratively. Establishing what matters to a client is key. Unfortunately, as much as helpful as it would be, a lot of corporate CEOs don't really care about link numbers. If you go to a CEO and say, yeah, we got 50 links, they'll be like, where's the money? So getting into a bit of an SEO and wider marketing mindset is a really great way to work out what they do care about. If they care about revenue and revenue alone, then you can tie back every link that you get to that. Step 2 comes with training. So get your digital PR teams thinking like SEOs and get your SEOs thinking like digital PRs. Every single member of your team should have a basic level understanding of SEO and EEAT. Give that reporting training. There's no use in me saying that digital PRs should understand GA4 and just throwing them in at the deep end, because no one wants that with GA4. But really taking the time to nurture that training and give them the tools to find what they need. If they're looking for referral revenue, give them some hints. And give them the common answers to some of those SEO issues that come up time and time again with the same clients. If they're saying, oh, but we've only got like 3 follow links and 100 no follow links, those 100 don't count. Know the answers to those, have those off the top of your head so that you can prepare yourself, because there's not always going to be an SEO on the call with you to help you out. So it really helps when you've got situations like this. So this is a site, this is not a client, so that would be a really bad advert for Digitaloft. If you've seen a massive drop in organic rankings or traffic, a client might come to you and say, oh, we're not getting enough links, our traffic's going down. Obviously, we know that links are a very, very small part of that picture, but having the knowledge of the wider context is a really great way to kind of build up your case and defend yourself. So you can say, oh, actually, we have weekly catch-ups for our SEO team, and we know that you migrated your CMS on this day, and that could be an issue. Or we know what pages we're building links to, and we can report on that, and they've actually seen kind of an average position increase of like 5 positions on Google. So sounds like a you problem. Don't say that to clients. Step 3 comes from communication. I think effective communication is one of the most important things in every area of your work life. But if you're looking at SEO and digital PR as extensions of the same team, or even just the same team, it makes sense to have those regular communications. If you have a weekly catch-up call with your team on a Monday morning, get all of the people who are relevant to your strategy on that call. Have regular catch-ups with your SEO team. If you're in digital PR, make sure you really, really know what is going on. If you're an SEO, you should know what campaigns the PR team have got planned. And if you're in PR, you should know what blogs or projects the SEOs have got going on. And make sure you ask plenty of questions. And that goes for if you are working collaboratively, if you're in an agency and you're doing a joint strategy, or if you're working in digital PR and they've got an external SEO agency or the work in-house, get talking to them. Sometimes there's some barriers to that. Sometimes some agencies are very kind of closely guarded. But get in front of them and ask as many questions as possible. So you can ask things like, how has performance been lately? Are there any kind of concerns or things that we need to know about? Tell me absolutely everything about the March algorithm update, even though it's not finished rolling out yet. What blog content is being written in the next few weeks? And is there any keywords that are kind of like a real priority for us going forward? Because we can tie that into our campaigns. Absolutely communicate like your life depends on it. And this is an example of how that can look. I will drop in, if we've got a brand new content strategy planned in, I will drop this into our internal Slack channel, which has every single person who has ever worked on that account, down from content writers to strategists, SEOs, digital PRs. I will put that in so they know what is getting published, and I can say, in this week, we're doing this blog, it's going to go live on this date. I think that's going to make a really great reactive, and that's another key, making sure that your SEOs understand the process, know what makes a great reactive, and then they've really got no excuse. They can plan it in. Step 4 comes from the ideation, as I talked about before. Make ideation sessions the absolute biggest, most collaborative, out-of-the-box event you can. We've talked already today about out-of-the-box thinking, But SEOs aren't going to be constrained by methodology issues or things that might kind of like weigh down or sort of squash in some of the digital PR ideas. So getting absolutely everyone from SEO to tech, I've put maybe even PPC. I'm trying to make friends with PPC people more often. It's a New Year's resolution of mine. On a call and really let those ideas flow. People will come at these problems from every single possible angle, and your ideas will be so much better because of it. Boop. Step 5 comes from reporting. So as I have said before, digital PR should have every single tool that they need to be able to report on every element of success. Success will look like different things for different digital PR strategies, so you need to define what that means for your client. If their main goal, if they're a brand new company and they want brand awareness, they want those links, they want to get in as many kind of dream publications as possible, then that's great, that's what you report on. If your company wants revenue and revenue only, then you've got to tailor your reporting to that. You might not need every single tool every single time, but it's better to have them than to not. And you've got to work out, if you're working collaboratively with SEO, how you're going to report on that, and how, if you're going to a client and saying, yeah, this is one joint strategy altogether, your reporting needs to reflect that. So this is what it might look like. If you've got a client that's very, very hot on revenue, then you can say, this year, we gained 36 pieces of product PR coverage. That could have just been your starting point. You could just said, here's some product PR around Black Friday. That's it, we're done. Or you could elaborate and say, this contributed to a 39% and 29% increase in referral traffic and revenue year on year for November and December, much higher than the site average. And our collaboration with SEO saw us ranking position 1 for Black Friday Christmas trees, which we knew was a keyword that we were really actively targeting. And that resulted in an 89% increase in clicks for this keyword year on year. So in practice, my clicker would work. There we go. When SEO and digital PR really align their strategies from the outset, reactive coverage, it makes it so much easier. If you can plan out blogs knowing what makes a really great reactive strategy or having that really evergreen content, then you can earn coverage on that blog and you have really ready prepared quotes, easy, ready to go. And it makes life so much easier. So, to summarize, SEO and digital PR are intrinsically linked. There is absolutely no getting away from that. You can't really have one without the other, and I think that's the way that it's going to continue to go. So therefore, your SEO and digital PR teams need to also be intrinsically linked. I've read that word a lot lately. It doesn't look like a word anymore. So really take that time to build bridges between your SEO and PR teams, set up regular recurring meetings, align on strategies, and report on your joint successes. It presents a really united front to clients, and it's a really great way to build more compelling strategies that yield these really tangible results. But just make sure you communicate it with clients and say, this is how we operate. We might not be like other agencies. These are how our digital PR and SEO strategies are going to align. And that would be the end from me. I definitely had a punchier ending than that when I prepared it before, but Nina, over to you.